Hello and welcome. Nigeria is daily becoming a keg of controversy, and those who are ruling Nigeria today feel they can use statements or use words and use semantics and believe the rest of Nigerians do not understand exactly what they mean. Now, there is a quote by a governor in Nigeria, Governor Sule Lamido. This video is directed to you. I sincerely hope this video gets to you. You made a statement saying that Nigeria is too weak to break. In furtherance to your claim, you said the reason why Nigeria is too weak to break is because the elite are united. And you went further to ask if it is the ordinary vulcanizer in Bayelsa, or the truck pusher in the north, or the poor masses in Nigeria that will initiate the process of the breakage of Nigeria. You strengthened your point by saying that the elites are united and will never want Nigeria to break. Those were your arguments and reasons for why Nigeria is too weak to break. But I beg to differ, because let's not also forget that it is the same person, or it is the same Jigawa state that laid claim to the oil in Bayelsa, saying that the oil in Bayelsa is their own. In other words, Nigeria belongs to them. So when a northerner makes a statement, you might want to forgive my southern brothers not to understand where exactly they are coming from. Because I also want to admit that a lot of us, Dr. Sule Lamido, governor of Jigawa State, you might want to forgive my people over there that they don't understand the dynamics of politics and exactly what guides the principle of your the English, I don't forget that one. Okay, what guides your statement whenever you dish out statement. But let me tell you, I've spent so many years with you guys and I know what you mean when you make a statement. Let me tell you exactly what you mean here. When you say Nigeria is too weak to break, what you're actually saying is that the North is too vulnerable for Nigeria to break. I don't think the South will care less if Nigeria breaks. We can definitely survive on our own if Nigeria breaks today. We've been feeding you for over 30 to 40 years. We've been feeding you. So why will it bother us if we break, if we are the one feeding you? It's to my benefit. It's like my house boy who I'm feeding is threatening that we can't break. The house must remain one. If the house is too weak for us to break, when I'm the one feeding the house boy, of course, if the house boy leaves, we still go ahead together. And that the elite are let me get it straight. When you said Nigeria is too weak to break, you're just saying that the North is too vulnerable for Nigeria to break. Because if Nigeria breaks, the North has nothing else to fall back on. You spent your time too much in falling back on siphoning the wealth of the South to the North. And if Nigeria breaks, there will be nothing to fall back on to siphon. For instance, most governors here in the North, all they do is wait for the monthly subvention and what else what they can get from federal government. And what is the bulk of the revenue for federal government is things that come from is monies from the South, money from oil, money from custom, money from taxes, money from virtually 98% of the Nigerian budget comes from the South. So what you are actually saying is that if Nigeria breaks, the North has nothing to fall back. That they fall back on. That is what you are saying. And then when you say that the Nigeria is too weak to break, or Nigeria cannot break because the elites are united, what you are also trying to say there is that Nigeria cannot break because the cabals are united and not the elite. What the southern elites have is fear and love for their property so much that they don't want to lose it. So, which I do, because I do not see the elite, the type of unity you are describing in your statement as it's, you know, as it brings the whole elite in Nigeria vis-a-vis the southern elite and the northern elite together, and you say that they are united. I really don't think they are united, because the business venture of the southern elite is different from the business venture of the northern elite. The northern elite makes its money via politics and by stealing from politics. Name one rich man from the north who makes his money judiciously. Most of the rich men and the top elite of northern elite only make their money from politics. So if Nigeria breaks today, there will be no Nigerian politics. There will be no policies made by some fanatical head of state that makes politics open enough for only northern politicians to be stealing, while southern politicians can't steal. You see the reason why you feel Nigeria cannot break, because Nigeria is open for northern politicians to steal, but very close for southern politicians to steal. Today, what we have is politicians who are locked just because they are southerners or Christians. Does that mean our northern elites do not steal? Does that mean our northern elites, our northern Muslims don't steal? So do not sell the crap to people like us that Nigeria is too weak to break. In fact, saying Nigeria is too weak, that Nigeria is, when you say Nigerian weak, you're trying to sell the semantics that Nigeria is too fragile for breakage. No. The North is too fragile for breakage, not we. Because if oil breaks today, just as it is almost evident now, we still have many things to fall back. We have our cocoa is still there, our palm oil produce is still there, our timber, glass. There are so many that we still fall back, because when we discover oil, we didn't throw away some of the things, our comparative advantages that we have. We didn't throw them away. But you northerners, as soon as they discovered oil, and you have policies that makes it possible for the North to keep stealing and keep bringing money to themselves, you jettison everything. The hides and skin that you have in the North, you have jettisoned it. What happened to Bata? What happened to Leventis? A factory that was built to make shoes to supply to the whole of Africa, what happened to them? I am sure that if we still have the shoe factory, Leventis and Bata in the east or in the south, it will still be working today. But you had your eyes on oil and you threw that away. What happened to the granite pyramid in Kano? I don't think there's a sack of granite left in that region where we used to have way back in our 50 kobo. We don't have it today. Talk less of a pyramid of granites. Your cuttings, your mineral resources, you have everything for the North to fall back, but you threw them away because there is oil that you always wait every month end to get subvention. So do not tell me and do not sell me the crap that Nigeria is too weak to break. Nigeria can indeed break. What you have in the South today, what you have, the picture you have today, why you constantly feel that the South are your colonies, people that you have caged, is one, because you have, what builds your confidence, believing that we, the rest of the southern people and Christians are within the purview of your control, is because, one, you have all Nigerian military weaponry located in the North. You have all key positions of Nigeria manned by northerners and Muslims to add, if I may say. So you believe you have Nigeria in your clutches and therefore it can't go. You believe Nigeria is a colony for the Northern Caliphate and therefore nothing can separate Nigeria. And you are very, very wrong. What I think is happening right now is because we from the South, we still see ourselves in pockets of ethnic diversities. The Igbo man still thinks this is about liberating the Igbos. The Ijos still think this is about liberating the Ijos. The Orobo think this is about liberating the Igbos. The Edo think that this is about liberating the Edos. But thank God you have people like us who are coming up to educate us that it's time to begin to think outside ethnic proclivities. It's time to think about the region. So to me, it doesn't matter whether you are Igbo, it doesn't matter whether you are Ijo, it doesn't matter whether you are Edo, it doesn't matter whether you are Orobo, it doesn't matter whether you are any of the ethnic nationalities in the South. All that I know is that I am from a region that is being dominated or being politically and clinically being controlled by the cabal in the north. And therefore, a time will come when all of us will reason above these ethnic inclinations them and say, not, stop the siphoning. To your tent, O Israel, everybody should fall back on what they can produce. Because the South has continuously fed the excesses of the North. Even how do you explain somebody who shines shoes be making children anyhow? Somebody who is a shoe shiner in the North here will be boasting he has 2 wives and he has 11 kids. Whereas somebody like me with a well-grown degree, with good insight to life, good insight to vision, has 2 kids. And then you want to tell me that because I want my children to have the best of life, feed well and eat well, sleep in good places, then somebody with an excess of 11 children will be confident to fan his excesses because there is wealth from the South that comes to cater for his excesses. That is not going to work. Nigeria can be great if everybody suffers for the consequences of his excesses. And therefore, what we are doing today, Nigeria is a lie. Every other country knows Nigeria is a lie. It is only the northern cabals that are still trying to water a plant that is already dead. So do not tell me that Nigeria is too weak to break. And for what is what, having fed you as a southerner, feeding the north over the years, there is no thank you. There is no respect. There is no appreciation. There is no gratitude from these people that have been feeding over how many years? Sule Lamido, let me tell you, the North is the most ungrateful set of human beings that have made up their mind that all we represent, all the South represent for them is a milk cow, the golden goose that lays the golden egg. That is what we mean to you. I am a Southerner, and when I'm in the North, I am not respected. I'm not treated with dignity. I'm not treated with some form of appreciation. So why do you think Nigeria should remain one? When it's almost like a curse to be a Southerner or to be a Christian in Nigeria. I think people like you, Sule Lamido, should use the effort you are trying to build Nigeria together to educate your people that, look, you should start a process of sowing love in your people, because that is what is totally missing in the people of the North. There's too much hatred in the minds of Northerners. You should use your effort to rebuild love into your people, telling them that, look, the man from the South is their brother. That's one. Then 2, you should endeavor to begin to explore avenues available to the North for revenue generation. For instance, in Plateau, there are rocks everywhere, there are stones everywhere. If there are mineral resources, there's fertile land here. All I need to do as a governor is to begin to look inward on how to see how I can generate my revenue. Then what comes in as a federal government subvention becomes a surplus to what I've already generated inward. But what do we have? We have revenues of the state left to local businessmen to man and pay paltry taxes to governor, which eventually doesn't come to the government eventually, because oil money is going to come at the end of the month. So I do not say this because I'm looking for trouble. No. I just want to set the record straight. Nigeria cannot begin to live on the narrative sold by the North. The narrative of the North is more populated. Narrative of the North has more landmass. Narrative of the fact that we are too weak to separate. Too many narratives that suggest that Nigeria should continue to remain one. If indeed Nigeria should remain one, Does that mean that Nigeria should remain one where the North continues to hate the South, where the North continues to kill the South, where the North continues to show dominance to the South, where the North continues to occupy all relevant key political positions, where the North dictates our census, where the North dictates every facet of our life? Is that the one Nigeria you are struggling to keep? I say no, sir. If at all Nigeria must exist, there must be equity. But the word equity is a strange word to you cabals in the North. So I'd like to end this video by saying that, Mr. Sule Lamido, focus your effort on educating your people to show love, on educating your people to love themselves, not even loving me as a South. Love yourself. Because when you love yourself, you look around to find ways to generate yourself, to make yourself even self-sufficient. It is the hate that a typical Northern have to himself. That is why he's not even bothered to make himself clean. He's not bothered to bring up children he can cater for. Only a wicked and self-hating person can bring a human being, a child, and label the child Almajiri to go on the street and start begging, eating remnants of food. I cannot subject my kids to such dehumanizing position. I'd like to say thank you for listening, Dr. Sule Lamido.